Well, the Royal Rumble is done, and now we're entering the stage to go straight to WrestleMania. We're also going to continue with New Japan's Road to New Beginnings that continues on for the upcoming shows on the 10th and the 11th of February. All of that will be reviewed and talked about on this episode of Deleted WrestleZone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted WrestleZone. All things that is pro wrestling from AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, matches, wrestlers, and championships. I'm your host J Rod here. Now, as you all know, I normally don't review a lot of WWE unless important pay-per-views like this one, which is the Royal Rumble 2021. Let's review that one right now. As you know, they had 3 championships and 2 Rumble matches. So let's just get rid of the talk with the championship matches that they had, and then we'll move on with the Rumble matches. The first championship match is the WWE Championship between Drew McIntyre defending his title against Goldberg. Now, there has been a lot of talk about this match for a while now. No disrespect to Goldberg, even though I was a huge fan of Goldberg when I first saw him back in WCW. I even met him once during a MMA Strikeforce event, but I know some people would thought he would have been better off, you know, not being involved, having Drew McIntyre being involved with someone else. I would agree. But the match did okay. Not in the best form, but in the form that it did the best possible. Now, you could assume, oh, Goldberg's gonna win like that, like he did a few times, but no, it didn't go. That I think the timing went up to close to 20 minutes. But I did like the moment where Goldberg put Drew McIntyre in the jackhammer, and he kicked out of that one. No one's ever kicked out of the jackhammer before, and they tried to spear him, but he got out of the way, and then Drew McIntyre nailed him with the Claymore, which is something you probably would expect. So Drew McIntyre retained the title, which I'm okay with it. Not to brag or complain about it. I mean, I felt they could have given Drew McIntyre a much better opponent for the Rumble, but you know how things are. Now, the next championship was for the SmackDown Women's Championship between Carmella along with her sidekick, Reginald, versus the boss and the current champion, Sasha Banks. Now, I'd be lying to all of you guys. I don't watch SmackDown a lot because I got bored with Raw and SmackDown for a long time. I only pay attention to NXT and some of the major pay-per-views like this one, like the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, SummerSlam, those events. But however, this match did all right, you know. But I did saw like Reginald try to help out Camilla, wasn't no good. Basically, Camilla still came out of her luck, so she lost the match. Sasha retained her title. Now, the other championship match was the WWE Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And I have paid attention to this feud very closely. I've been hearing it on social media and, and clips on YouTube. So basically, it doesn't surprise me how it ends, to be honest with you. Am I okay with Roman Reigns retaining the title? To be honest with you, yes, because there are 50-50 chance that maybe Roman Reigns could lose the title at WrestleMania. That is one of my predictions. But that's another conversation for another time. But it was a pretty good match. But however, I was mostly interested in the women's and the men's Royal Rumble matches. So let's talk about those matches, the women's first. As I look at the list of people who were in there, I was surprised to see legends, NXT stars showing up. We had Jillian. I haven't seen her for a long time. I mean, it was so funny how she teamed up with Billie Kay, you know. But of course, if you want to know, if you can recall now, if those who haven't seen the Rumble, Bailey and Naomi actually started out the match. I haven't seen Naomi for who knows how long, but man, she still looks great. Don't know what happened, but just glad that she's back. Seen Shotzi Blackheart from NXT and a few other more. Santana or Garrett. Of course, Tori Wilson was in it. Alicia Fox, Dakota Kai from NXT, Tamina, and then the return of Lana. So there's been a lot, but the real question that many people ask me, who would win this match? To be honest with you, I was a bit biased because, like I said, I don't watch Raw or SmackDown that often. But there were some pretty good moments, in this entire thing. But I think we should talk about how this thing ended. The final three of the women's Royal Rumble were Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. Now, this is one of those matches where this was being told. If you remember, Charlotte Flair went to NXT for a short time to win the NXT Women's Championship from Rhea Ripley. And I thought it was a pretty good match for that time. But seeing how this was more like how to say, like we come in full circle type of mode. You know what I mean? That's how I felt in this particular match. But other than that, it was fine. But there was another crazy moment for the 24/7 championship match. R-Truth showed up right when Alicia Fox was there. He tried to battle away his opponents, but apparently he got pinned by Alicia Fox in the middle of the Rumble, naming her as the new 24/7 champion, and all of a sudden she got eliminated, and then Truth regained the title again, and they start chasing him once again. So basically, it's one of those funny moments where it happens. But to my surprise, in the entire match, I didn't expect it, but I say I'm happy with the result. Bianca Belair won the match. Now, you ask me, why am I okay with it? To be honest with you, I feel we could have seen her be the NXT Women's Champion if she was still with NXT, but we never had that. And I just hope WWE doesn't screw this one up for us. And it's kind of like that, because I always had that. Like, we can talk about how they screwed up with Asuka, all of that, but it didn't. But we just got to wait and see what happens in WrestleMania. But however, we don't know yet if she's going to challenge Sasha Banks for the title or the Raw's women's title, which Asuka has. That is also one of those things that we got to remember. There's that loophole rule. If you guys are new to the channel and don't follow WWE, I can explain that to you real quick. Several years ago, a wrestler named Chris Benoit. At the time, they had two titles, the world title and the WWE title. Now, however, Benoit was in SmackDown, so he was in fact in line to go for the WWE title. But however, he made the jump to Raw to challenge the world title. So the real question is, what was it? But Stone Cold revised the loophole. On the technical terms, the winner of the Rumble does get a shot of the title, but it doesn't specify which one. And basically, that loophole became in effect. So, in the retrospective with Bianca Belair, even though she's on the SmackDown brand, she could very well challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. So, To be honest with you, I don't think it makes any difference which title she'll go. I mean, if she's going for the SmackDown Women's title, I'm good with that. If she's going for the Raw, same thing. But it doesn't affect me at all, because I always pay attention to things like that. Now let's get to the men's. Now this one, I have to say, I like how it started. The number one entry was none other than the Rated R superstar Edge, who made his return, and number two was his one-time friend turned rival, bitter enemy, Randy Orton. I have to say that match, this whole beginning thing, was more of Edge and Randy Orton killing the hell out of each other. I was surprised, but there was later on where he took him out badly with his knee. Now, we weren't sure yet if he was eliminated the way he was limping out. I wasn't sure. But however, throughout the entire thing, we saw many wrestlers. Carlito. I haven't seen that guy for a long time, but man, he still looks good for someone his age. We even had Kane. Who else came back? Christian. And the return of Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. I was like, all these other guys, I was so happy. Ricochet, Damian Priest, But however, the best moments I did enjoy was when prior before the Rumble, Miz and Morrison were trying to get on the train ride with Bad Bunny, who performed in the halfway through the show, but Miz was not too happy, and then he destroyed the DJ set. Bad Bunny comes out, but what happened? Morrison and Miz lost focus. They were both eliminated by Damian Priest. So basically, allowing Bunny to jump off the turnbuckle of fulfilling his dream, being a wrestler. But however, I was surprised how that Edge made it all the way this far. I was surprised. I didn't expect it. Randy Orton nearly could have won, but it didn't. But having having Edge won, I have to say that's the best finale. And I'm okay with the idea. But the real question, like I said, because of the loophole, who is he going to face? Is he going to face Roman Reigns for the Universal title or Drew McIntyre? But we'll see what happens. So I think that's it right now. So let's move on with the last thing I'm going to review is New Japan Pro Wrestling's Road to New Beginning. Continues on. Okay, so New Japan continues on more with Road to New Beginning. Apparently, we just had the New Beginning in Nagoya, so we're heading straight to New Beginning in Hiroshima on the 10th and 11th of February. So this particular event took place in Korakuen Hall, which I love, one of the venue. Hope I get to visit one day. But let's go with the first match. It's a Young Lions match with Gabriel Kidd and Yota Tsuji. Now, Gabriel Kidd took a week off. From what I understand, he took a trip to LA. Nope, he wasn't going to the LA dojo to train. He just needed time to go on sabbatical, some time off to relax. But seeing these two guys, Yota Tsuji and Gabriel Kidd, always tells you, from what Kevin Kelly announced, that Yota Tsuji is a bit more superior than Gabriel Kidd, so he could be one of the few young lions that is ready to graduate soon. Well, we'll see what happens. But of course, Tsuji is one of the few wrestlers I've seen that wins his matches, even when it comes to Gabriel Kidd or Yuya Uemura, but he won this one. Next match we had is a eight-man tag team match. We got LIJ, Bushi, Hiromu, Naito, and Sanada taking on their respected opponents, Humna, Wado, Sho, and Ibushi. Now, you can expect a whole lot in this particular match because we've been seeing these guys back and forth. You see, Sho is in line for a IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Hiromu. Bushi wants to fight Sho for no apparent reason, but we do know that Sanada is in line for a shot for the double championship, but it's still confirmed whether he agrees with the idea of Bushi to unify both titles. Now we still haven't heard yet what he's gonna say. He said, "I don't know." So basically, he's not sure. But the match was great. But it did ended where what's his name? Hiromu picked up the victory against Wato to send a message to Sho. Now he knows that he's up to he's gonna has the biggest challenge. Now Sho is gonna be now competing as a singles competitor while his tag team partner Yo is out. We'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks, but we'll see where to go. Hopefully he does win this title. Now the next match is a 6-man tag team match. We got Bullet Club, Dick Togo, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil taking on Chaos, Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Kazuchika Okada. Now, however, we've been seeing back and forth. Evil has no intentions to face Okada. Okada, on the other hand, wants to right the wrong that took place last year at the New Japan Cup, where Evil won the match when he defected from LIJ to Bullet Club. But the match was great. It did allow for Tomohiro Ishii to win. But however, the biggest question that many people were asking, what happened to Jay White? The answer to that, he came out. Now, we have heard the reports, sources coming from different news outlets saying that he's leaving, WWE has an interest in him. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Jay White came with an agreement with the New Japan office. I'm not sure. But it's great to see him. The King Switchblade, he's back. So basically, he targeted Tomohiro Ishii. The reason is, if you guys don't recall, it was Tomohiro Ishii that pinned him at New Year's Dash. So basically, he came out for revenge. So, are we expecting a grudge match between those two? Most likely, yes. Now, because of the nature of this event, there was only 4 matches. I would assume it was either 5 or 6, but it didn't go that way. We had a 10-man tag team elimination match. One corner, we got Suzuki Goons, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr., El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Doiki, taking on Bullet Club members Yado, Ishimori, El Fantasmo, and Tama and Tonga. Now, these two teams hate each other. As you know, Doiki and Yado are yet to have their singles competition match coming up soon. Fantasmo and Taiji Shimori beat Kanemaru and Desperado for the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. But however, they want to prove that El Fantasmo cheated. He had something in his shoes. And of course, we have GOD, who beat Dangerous Techers, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles at Wrestle Kingdom. As you know, Dangerous Techers are in a state of flux, knowing that they lost the tag team titles, but at the same time, Tama took the Iron Claw that belonged to Ishika, and they asked him where it was. But it was surprising how the match ended. Now, this was more of a war between two different factions. It's always been like that. But the way it ended, Tama was eliminated. He helped out Yado and took out Taichi with using the Iron Claw. And once again, he got into the head of both Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. So basically, in one like this. Now, in the post-match interview with Zack Sabre Jr., he was not a happy camper. He was mad. He was saying that he was not going to rest until the GOD are out of New Japan so they can purify the tag team division under their image. That's what they want. But come on. You think Tama cares about that? Your ways? Zach, come on. You got to do better than that. They're not going to play by your rules. They don't play. You guys don't play by anybody's rules either. You act like you're all that. So basically, you guys are similar. But the only difference is GOD is more vicious. So I'm excited for the upcoming event. So there will be more of Road to the New Beginning tour until we get to Hiroshima on the 10th and the 11th. I'm excited for that one. I hope you guys too. So I think that's about it for now. So stay tuned for more wrestling coming for Tuesday for AEW Dark, Impact Wrestling, and I might throw in 2 events coming from Big Japan Pro Wrestling. Hopefully. If not, I apologize. So, I must bid all of you guys adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.